we met on the BLK dating app. Um, we almost didn't meet actually because I was tired of this. I was tired of the app. I was just gonna be the traveling auntie. And my mom was like, just give it one more try, maybe another day or so. So I was like, all right, fine, I'll try it. So by this time, I think I only have maybe 3 pictures up, maybe a paragraph left. I was just over it. But then I see his profile on there. I said, he's cute. Let me see. But then when you look at the app, I looked at his profile. He didn't just have like one line on there or just, the standard foolishness. It was like something decent, and his pictures showed that he traveled. So I said, oh, he has a passport. Oh, good. The cookie with grease. So I swiped right, and and that's how it got started,
So
in the DM.
I'm going through the apps, you know what I'm saying, and I get to her profile. And I'm like, okay, she actually sounds like she got a head on the shoulders, you know. And she talked about her love of music and love of family, and those two things are very big with me. So, boom, you know what I'm saying? I messenger, and she messaged me back, and she actually had something to say, and that was a breath of fresh air for me because some young ladies think just because of the way they look, it's one thing, and that don't impress me. So, I was impressed by her mind. Now, when we first met, she did take me to a park where a whole bunch of people died, but that's a whole nother conversation.
It's history.
Yeah, but no. So everybody that knows me know that I have a very big discerning spirit. So I walk into the park and I just feel some people died here, and then we start looking and reading. Oh, the Civil War was fought here. Oh, so there's probably hundreds of dead people spirits here. That's great. All right, but other than that, it was a great first date. Great.
Okay. Spirits and all. What stuck out to me was our dating journey. For one, is in the middle of a whole pandemic, right? But this one was always very creative in how we can go about, still do fun things, date and whatever. But throughout the time, my mom had her health challenges, and our first real planned fancy date, my mom got really sick, had to be in ICU. This is in the thick of COVID, so there's no visitors whatsoever. I think at that time you couldn't even drop off food, like it was that serious, And I remember I was worried sick. I was a mess, and this guy was just there and just calm. And I remember Mommy was in the unit, and this was the first time, and she's scared, and she was like, "Can you call me every 3 hours? Because that's when they're gonna check my vitals and stuff." So I said, yeah, sure, of course, I'll call you every 3 hours. So I'm trying to sneak away, right? So we're together, we're in this cabin setup. So I'm trying to sneak away quietly so that I don't wake him up. So I can call and FaceTime her and things like that. And sure enough, every time, every 3 hours, 3 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, 12 o'clock midnight, here he come. Not because I woke him up, but just because he want to sit there. And I remember one time, one of the calls, it could have been after 3 o'clock, and there was a swing, like a porch outside. And I was just sitting there trying to collect my thoughts, and he was just out there. And I thought to myself, you know what, he might could stay. And he's kind of always been that constant. So aside from that, though, he's also my friend. Like, I think he's probably seen me at my silliest, and he just laughs with me. That means something. So all of those things combined, he treats his mom well, he treats people well in general. Generally, people like him because, so it's like all of those things. I don't know when the apple fell on my head and be like, girl, yeah, but like over time, it was just like, yeah, he could stay, yeah, that could work, It just worked out.
So for me, Like I always told her, I want somebody that's gonna be my best friend first, my lover second. I was on a journey with God, and I got out of a bad relationship a couple of months, well, a couple of years prior to meeting her, and I went through some things, and then I had a conversation with God, and God, I was like, listen, all right, instead of me meeting the girl and asking you, is this the one? And then something crazy happened, and then I find out the hard way that she's not the one. How about you lead me to the one, right? And God said, okay, but you're gonna have to stop having sex. And I was like, bruh, you know what I went through before? Like, can I swim a little bit? Like, I was in the desert for a while, bruh. And God was like, nah. If you want me to lead you, you're gonna have to go ahead and be in the desert, but this time for the right reason. And I'm like, all right, bruh. After we had our argument, it really was a debate because I knew he was right the whole time. God sent me 3 people. At that time, in my dating past, they were the baddest at that point. And they all wanted me to have sex immediately. And I was like, for real, God, that's what we doing? You testing me like that? But I passed those tests. And then after that, he sent me the most beautiful, intelligent one, period, in Terry. And when I told her what my journey with God at the moment is, she didn't look at me like I was crazy. She didn't ask me no silly questions like, does it work? No, it was like, I get it. I see what you're dealing with. And I'll walk with you with your walk with God. And to me, that set her apart because she was spiritually aware enough to understand what I'm trying to do. Because in relationships prior, I was having sex before marriage. And when you do that, God puts a curse on your relationship and then it doesn't work out. So I want to actually do it the right way this time so I can have God's blessing. We can have God's blessing. And she understood that. She rocked with me instead of looking at me like I'm crazy. And the thing that cemented it, let me know, okay, this is the keeper, right? I had opened the door for her as I always do so she can get in the car. And then I walk back around the other side of the car and she leans over and opens up my door. And I'm like, oh yeah, we gonna have to, you're gonna have to lock her up. You know what I'm saying? Because that's yeah, lock you up, build a family.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, because that you don't normally see a lot of young ladies take that kind of care to take care of their man. So when you see it, you appreciate it and you rock with it and accept it. That's when I knew she was the keeper.
He's very kind. I know he's, on the surface he likes to be rough. I'm from New York. But he's very kind, very kind. Very gentle as it relates to me. And considerate. That's a big deal for me. He's consistent. Integrity is a big deal to him. If he says he's gonna do something, just consider it done. That could be a good thing or a bad thing, but for the most part, for people like me that like stability, there's peace in that. If he says he's gonna pick you up at 6 o'clock, 6 o'clock he's out there. He's probably gonna be there at 5:50. So that's another good thing. It's the third one. I love how he loves his family and the people that are close to him, which I guess you would consider them family. He's very fierce in the way he loves his family, and that's endearing to me because I love my family the same way. So if I had to only choose 3 things, I think those would be the 3 that I love the most. Yeah.
So 3 qualities for me, right? Number 1, I love how she takes care of her family. That tells me that she's gonna be a good mother to our kids. She's always looking out for everybody else except for herself. So that's the bad part. I'm trying to teach her how to do some self-care in the midst of taking care of everybody else. Another thing is that she cooks. So like, hey, listen, you come with somebody that only got home cooked meals from their mama, you know what I'm saying, and then you're the one who does it. So that's like, that's a beautiful thing for me. Like, and when she cooks, she'll put these little notes in the lunchbox. So I'm at work about to open up a box for lunch, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. You know, I ain't never had nobody do that before. It's different. And she cares about my music. That's very important. One of my good friends, I look at her as an older sister. She was mentoring me through one of my situations, right? And she said, look, Bernard, if you don't find a girl that cares about your music just as much as they care about you, then they're not really rocking for you. That's a sign. You know what I'm saying? You a whole composer, so they should ask you about your music. You shouldn't have to tell them about it. And that became like a quiet barometer for me. And one of the days she's like, man, I'm over here dating a whole composer and I ain't hear not one song. Let me hear your music. And I was like, oh, all right. Check that box. Okay, good job, Terry. Good job. So she's very caring, she's very thoughtful, and she's extremely loving. I don't have to fight with her to show affection because I'm a very affectionate person. Also, I'm a poet. So when these things come out of me, she don't look at me like I'm crazy. She just take the love, and I'm like, that's what I need. Versus me having to say, shut up and take the love, which I've had to do in the past. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to fight you to love you, right? So she just accepts it. So these are my things.
He's still gangster though. He be like, shut up and take this kiss. Like, you could just kiss me.
I am from New York.
Okay.
I am from New York.
I gotta be gangster with my kiss. You know what I'm saying? Just give me my kiss.
And I am the breast. You know, I don't know.
Just give me a hug. It's all right.
Yeah, a hug with a little bit of oomph on it.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm just gonna start building this empire. I got my kingdom that I already built, that I'm bringing, and I'm trying to merge it with the kingdom that she's already built. And we're gonna build this empire. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're gonna be the next power couple. Forget about Jay-Z, Beyonce. We about to start taking over because she about to start her own business. I'm already starting the beginning processes of starting mine, and it's about to be on and popping. 2023 is the year to take over and down.
That too.